Welcome back, friends, and happy Tuesday. I hope you had a lovely week. I had a super fun week making these super cute, squishy pumpkins, and I'm going to show you how I did it. And we're going to hang out a little bit. Do you know why? Because we're friends. But you know what you have to do? You have to stick around. I'm Nye with Ellie and Mag. Let's go, friends. This week, I know that everyone is beginning to mourn the end of summer. You and I both, okay? I feel like Nancy done moved in and she is bringing in the cold with her and she needs to get out. There are certain things about fall that I love. One, I love the apple season. Two, I love warm drinks like tea. I love taking walks in the neighborhood when it's just chilly enough that I don't feel hot. And I really love pumpkins. I think they're super cute. And the one thing about pumpkins in fall that I love is that pumpkins roll right into Halloween season. So you can make your pumpkins for fall and you can leave them out on your decor until very much the end of October. And nobody is going to say a thing. Okay? I won't say anything because we're friends. I'll tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need fabric. Not very much fabric. It all really depends on the size of your pumpkin. A glue gun. Some of this embroidery thread, because this stuff is strong, y'all. A regular needle and thread, and upholstery needle. Now, these are really long, sharp needles. So I recommend that you be very careful. And if you think you may poke yourself, you should probably use thimble or some protective gloves when using this. Polyfill. I probably had a little too much fun with this stuff because it's so squishy. And I also felt a little ridiculous as I was squishing it down the aisles of the local Walmart. Thank you for the fun experience and crazy looks. I don't care. It's fun. You might want some random trims, maybe some lace. You're also going to need little bits of cardboard or index cards and some fabric or felt in order to create your stems. And I'm also going to move my camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Because you're over there and you're like, Nye, for real? We can't see any of that. So I'm going to hook you up, okay? I'm going to go ahead and cut my fabric on the bias. And to do that, I have to line it on the 90-degree angle first at the selvage here. Okay, because that's the manufacturer's line, so you know that it's straight there. Okay, and then I know that I can cut my fabric on this diagonal line here on my cutting board is the 45-degree angle. Before I start sewing, shout out to Ever Sew & Company for sending me this handy dandy light to put onto my machine. I'm going to go ahead and take it off real quick. It connects to your machine via a piece of Velcro. Okay, it's actually chargeable, so I have a cable that I can plug it into a USB charger. Little lights, removable, right? Malleable. So you can face it where you need it. And you can turn it off. I have mine positioned behind my machine. The package suggests that you put it on the top of your sewing machine, but I don't like it up there because I can't see. So I actually put mine here. I don't know if you can see that. And it shines down onto my work right there. How nifty is that? I love it. I can't see. And I have these lights in my sewing room that are so bright. It's just ridiculous. So I really like to have that so that I can put maybe a mellower light at my station and sew. They also sent me some little tiny bobbins in super cute colors. Y'all know I love colors. I feel like they get me. I am going to sew this embroidery fabric onto my pumpkin so that I can have it on the bottom of my pumpkin. I think it's going to be so cute. Okay. Then I'm going to take my fabric long ways and fold it, right? So we're going to be sewing shortwise across, okay? So we're going to be sewing across here. Here. Now I have my pumpkin all sewn up and I don't need my sewing machine anymore. I can put her away. I should name my sewing machine. Do you have a name for your machine? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it back inside out, right? So you want the ugly side of the fabric looking at you, the ugly side. So now I'm just actually doing a gathering stitch around the bottom of the pumpkin. And the reason why is because I'm going to go ahead and sew this up closed before I flip it back out. You can totally use your sewing machine to do the gathered stitch. What you want to do is go ahead and put your tension on high and your stitch. I can't speak. What you want to do is put your tension on high and your stitch length long. Stitch 2 rows because one might break, which is why I didn't do it. And then just pull those threads until it's nice and closed. See, now I'm just going to go ahead and cinch it up just like a glad bag. Oh, y'all, look at my baby pumpkin. Okay, so now that I have it flipped out, you'll see that I have this little thing there. I done cinched it shut, put a couple of, stitches in there to keep it nice and stable. I'm going to go ahead and stitch around it first because then I don't have to pull at the fabric as much. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gathering stitch around it first. I just poked myself in the finger. I'm just showing you what not to do. I got my little stitch in there. Can you see? Can you see? Yeah. Now I'm going to stuff it. Stuff it. This is the toughest part, is trying to get the cinch to stay closed once you have stuffed it. You see, as soon as I let go, it's like, bleh, it wants to barf fluffiness. That sounds gross. Maybe it sounds like my pumpkin has a hairball. Now, this does not have to be completely closed, only closed enough so that you can hide it with the stem. And it's a little wide. Just throw a couple of stitches in there, back and forth, close it up a little bit more, and you're good to go. Okay, now that you have your pumpkin stuffed, all you need to do is find your embroidery needle and some embroidery thread. You can use whatever embroidery color thread you'd like. Unravel it all the way down to the bottom. Okay, you don't have to knot the bottom of this because you're going to tie it anyway. So, first things first, go in the bottom. It's like going into the belly button. I know. Ouch. So you're going to go in through the bottom or the umbilicus. And what I do is I put my pumpkin down on the table so that I can push down on the needle instead of hoping for it to come up and then poking myself. Because you can actually poke yourself pretty good. I'm not speaking from experience or anything. Yes, I am. I poked myself multiple times doing this. And that's how I learned to only do it towards my table. So when you do it towards the table, you'll feel it tap the table, and then you know you can pull it up through. If you have a larger pumpkin, you're going to want a longer needle. Pull all your thread through. And tie it off at the center. Now, you're going to want to leave a little tail at the center because all of your string is going to get tied at the center too. So a quick little knot there. Try to make it tight. The tighter you make it, the more bunching you're going to have. Now you see that is my first little bunch. It already looks like a pumpkin. So now you take your embroidery needle, okay, and what you have here is your tail and your thread. So you want to go, if your first thread is, where is it? Here, then you want to do your next one here. So go back around your pumpkin and go back into the little bottom there. Do not do it like this and look for the needle. You will poke yourself in the face. That I have not actually done, but I've gotten very close and realized that what I was doing was a terrible idea. So here I go, back through the center here. Pull it up. And you have your pumpkin all nice and shapely. Now we have to work on our stem. So what you're going to need to work on your stem is a little bit of fabric. You could use literally any kind of trim. Now, this one I did with a glitter ribbon, upholstery trim, the upholstery fabric. So it's really up to you. Literally any little bit of cardboard and just roll it up. So I make a little fold here, just like this. And then I just continue to roll it. Kind of unroll itself a little and put it on top of my pumpkin. See how I feel about the size of that. That thing is a little bit tall. So I'm going to cut it. A little glue there, right there. You know, so this is about the same, you see? Just around the little edges. And I'm going to fold this over the top. Just like that. Little bitty glue there on the side, little bitty glue there on the side. So yeah, now what you do is you take a small line of glue here and run it across the short edge there. And then you just roll up your paper or your cardboard in that fabric. Either continuing to overlap the fabric or not. It depends on you. Take a line of glue, dab it across just a little bit, and then roll it until it sticks. And here you have it. So this is where you can be extremely generous with your glue. No, you can put a lot of glue in here. Just put it right there in the center, make a nice little circle. Don't sing while you do it like I just did because that is weird. And then take your stem and just pop it right on there and just snug it right in there. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me this week. I hope that you make all the pumpkins. These are the cutest decor for your home during the season. You can give them as gifts 1,000 ways with this and just have a ball. So I hope that you do. If you like what I'm doing here, hanging out on Tuesdays, do me a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Share these videos with your friends. I'm going to go ahead and link some videos down here or playlists that I think you might like. Come back next week. I'll be happy to see you. Yes, Nancy. Bye.